Well, I just told you, yes. Comparing the Bible and the Quran is not, first of all, the same God, is not the same message.
I think it's the same God, it's the same message.
No, it isn't.
All right, can you prove it?
Yeah, just a second. So in Surah 230, I think, if I'm not mistaken, it says that the woman who divorces a man can marry 3 times, and after these 3 times, if she divorces again, she can go back to the first man, right?
Yep.
Okay, and then in in the Bible, in Deuteronomy 24, 1-5, it says that this is despicable to God, to our God, not to yours.
Okay, good. Is adultery despicable?
We need to apologize to. It's true.
It says that this is despicable to God, to our God, not to yours.
Okay, good. Is adultery despicable?
Yes.
Okay. Does Jesus say that the one who
Wait a second.
Let me finish. Let me finish. Don't talk when I'm talking.
Well,
Thank you.
You jump.
Don't talk. I know
Why
it's
do
your
you jump?
I know it's your kryptonite. Don't talk.
No. Why do you jump?
I'm not jumping. Don't talk while I'm speaking. I know you feel like you're about to get flamed and filleted like a fish.
No. You just jumped.
I'm talking.
On another topic.
I'm talking. It's not
Okay.
another. It's not another topic.
Don't cut me off. You said if a prophet abrogates a law or introduces or makes permissible a law that was before impermissible and so-called detestable, that means he can't be in the same line of prophethood, correct?
No, what I'm saying is
that the argument?
No, the argument is that God cannot change, and if it says one time that this is despicable to him, and then something
good,
something is good to him,
so that's the argument.
Is this a contradiction?
Nope, it's not a contradiction. You want to know why?
So something can be good
Yep.
and bad.
Yep.
To the same action can be good and bad to God at the same time.
Yes.
And this is not a contradiction.
Not a contradiction. You want to know why?
Okay. Then words don't have meaning and logic just failed.
Okay, we'll see if the logic failed. Does Jesus say that the one who divorces his wife, and if she remarries, or if he remarries, that she has committed adultery and he committed adultery?
If she remarries.
Yep.
And if he remarries, he commits adultery?
Yep.
Well, the divorce is...
it's a yes or no. Does she commit adultery if she remarries?
If she remarries?
Yep.
Only in the case if she commits adultery.
Nope. Doesn't say that. It says if she remarries, she commits adultery.
Jesus says that the only way that two people can divorce is because of...
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about if they divorce and she remarries, she commits adultery. Correct?
She remarries, I think this is in Matthew.
Yep.
This is a debatable topic when it comes to remarriage.
Brother, does it say it's adultery?
Yes, it says, but it can be interpreted another way.
Whoever marries a divorced woman commits adultery, correct?
Yes, but it's not that simple.
That's what Jesus is saying. Does Jesus say whoever marries a divorced woman commits adultery? Does he say that?
Yes.
Okay. Does the law of Moses say you could marry a divorced woman?
Yes.
So God allowed adultery?
As I said, yes, it's complicated. I didn't study this one.
So with the Quran, it's not complicated. It's just black and white. But with the Bible, you're so charitable and you're ready to say it's complicated. You see how you're disingenuous and dishonest? The point.
No, because I know that when it comes to this divorce and remarriage, there were some talks when it comes to the early church, and a lot of debates about this. So it is not black and white as you say it,
No,
and you know about this.
Jesus makes it black and white. He says, "Whoever marries a divorced woman commits adultery." That simple.
Yes, he says that, but his words, yes, were explained to the apostles, and the apostles explained to their apostles, and so and so.
They did not.
They did not what?
They did not explain to, and there's no apostles explaining to early church. Doesn't exist.
What do you mean?
I mean, there is no such thing as apostles explaining to the early church.
Yes, what did they teach in the church?
Yeah, there's no such thing as apostolic succession. Doesn't exist.
What do you mean? Timothy, where did he get his authority from?
Got it from Paul.
Okay, so it is an apostolic succession.
Paul is not somebody who met Jesus or heard his words.
Paul was an apostle, and he met Jesus on the way to Damascus.
Yeah, that's what he says. That's what Acts says. There's no.
Yeah, and the apostles confirmed that.
We're talking about Matthew 5. Paul didn't hear Matthew 5.
Ah, so you just jump again. I just told you.
I'm not jumping.
That,
we're talking about Matthew.
Jesus.
We're talking about Matthew 5.
Yes.
You said the apostles heard Matthew 5 and they explained it. Did Paul hear Matthew 5?
Did Paul hear Matthew 5?
Yeah.
I believe so.
Paul heard Matthew 5?
Yes.
What's the evidence for that?
No, I said I believe so.
All right, what's the evidence for that? Why do you believe so?
Well, because he met with the apostles, he spoke with the apostles, so everything they taught he also believed.
How do you know that?
Because Paul told us that he met with Peter and James and John.
And he says that they are so-called apostles. He calls them satanic in Corinthians. He says what they were means nothing.
He doesn't call them satanic. What are you talking about?
He does call them satanic. He says
the apostles.
Yep. He says what they mean, what they are means nothing to me. He says I worked harder than them. He calls Peter a hypocrite. He calls James part of the circumcision group, which is a false gospel according to him.
And where does it say that that he calls them satanic?
In Corinthians chapter 15.
In Corinthians, he doesn't call them satanic,
right,
bro.
We'll see. Let's go to Corinthians 15.
Yeah, let's go to Corinthians.
Yeah, we'll go. Corinthians chapter 15. Here we go. For I am the least of the apostles, yet do not even deserve to be called an apostle, because I persecuted the church of God. But by the grace of God, I am what I am, and his grace was not without effect. I worked harder than all of them, yet not I, but the grace of God that was with me. Whether then it is I or they, this is what we preach, and this is what you believe. Wait, is it here? No, it's not. Here, 1 second.
So what? Repeat again. Sorry. What were you saying before? So this is what we preach and this is what we believe. So he met with the apostles and they confirmed that they preach the same thing as Paul.
Nope, that's not what Paul is saying. So
it is what he was saying. Thank Jesus for that.
Brother, you're getting too excited, brother. Just relax. Can we read?
I'm relaxed. Don't worry. I'm just amused by your lies.
Keep that same energy, brother. We're about to read it right now. All right, just relax. Let me just pull it up here. If we preach another Jesus, cursed Corinthians. Okay. Oh, 2 Corinthians 11. Sorry, here we go.
Yeah, but thank you for reading that. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. Here we go. I hope that you will put up with me a little more.
in a little foolishness. Yes, please put up with me. I am jealous for you with a godly jealousy. I promised you to one husband, to Christ, so that I might present you as a pure virgin to him. But I am afraid that just as Eve was deceived by the serpent's cunning, your minds may somehow be led astray from your sincere and pure devotion to Christ. But if someone comes to you, preaches another Jesus than the Jesus we preached, or if you receive a different spirit from the spirit you received, or a different gospel from the one you accepted, you put up with it easily enough. I do not think I am in the least inferior to those super apostles. Who are the super apostles according to Paul?
The super apostles, well, according to what he was saying in all his writings, would be maybe Peter, James, and John.
Okay, good. I may indeed be untrained as a speaker, but I do have knowledge. We have made this perfectly clear to you in every way. Was it a sin for me to lower myself in order to elevate you by preaching the gospel of God free of charge? I robbed other churches by receiving support from them so as to serve you. But when I was with you, you needed something, and I was not a burden to anyone. For the brothers who came from Macedonia supplied what I needed, and I kept myself from being a burden to you in any way, and will continue to do so. But I will, as surely as the truth of Christ is in me, nobody in the regions of Achaia will stop this boasting man. Why? Because I do not love you. Why? Because I do not love you? ? God knows I do. Okay. So here we go. And I will keep on doing what I'm doing in order to cut off the ground from under those who want an opportunity to be considered equal with us in the things they boast about. For such people are false apostles, deceitful workers, masquerading as apostles of Christ. And no wonder, for Satan himself masquerades as an angel of light. It is not surprising then if his servants also masquerade as servants of righteousness, their end will be what their actions deserve. Who are these super apostles who are masquerading as apostles of Christ? But really, they're not apostles
Wait
of
a
Christ, they're
second.
apostles of
It's
Satan.
someone who is masquerading as Paul and the other apostles, and they are giving, as you were telling before, a false gospel, which is not Peter, James, and John.
That's your
because
brother.
Because
Your
well,
question.
can you let me explain?
No, your question.
Can you let me explain?
Your question.
Okay. So I cannot talk.
Brother, your
I cannot
question.
talk.
Your question begging. Okay, you're
No,
saying.
I'm not.
Okay, finish.
I'm not.
Finish, please. Go ahead.
Okay, so
Yes.
the same Paul tells us that he met with Peter, James, and John.
Yep.
Yeah, he spoke with them. Yeah, he spoke with them regarding the gospel that he was preaching to the Gentiles,
Yeah.
and their gospel that they were preaching. They said that it's the same gospel. So it is not talking there about Peter, James, and John, because it says that these are false apostles who give a false gospel.
I got you. Thank you so much. Now, watch this, guys. He said they're not false apostles because Paul is saying they're true, because they're actually true apostles. So they can be false apostles. Well, guess what? That's the very argument in question. How are you using your conclusion? Let me finish. How are you using your conclusion to support your conclusion? I'm telling you, Paul here is calling these we agree, the super apostles are the pillars of the church. Peter, James, and John, right?
Yeah.
Does he say that these people are false apostles masquerading as apostles of Christ?
No.
All right, so who are the super apostles that are masquerading as apostles of Christ?
Because first he mentions the super apostles, and then he mentions the ones who think they are like them, Paul and the others. Who is talking? Paul is talking there, yes, as plural, as us. Who is referring there to?
Dude, are you not here? Did you not hear what I just read? He says,
yes, I heard.
Do not accept a different Jesus and a different gospel, because I am not and the least inferior to those super apostles.
Yeah, so another gospel
who are
and
the
another
super
Jesus,
apostles that are
Yeah,
preaching a
this
different
super-
gospel and a different Jesus?
Well, these super apostles aren't the ones preaching according to the context.
The context is somebody is preaching a different Jesus.
Read again.
Here we go.
Read again.
For if someone comes to you, preaches a Jesus other than the Jesus we preach, if you receive a different spirit from the spirit you received,
a different gospel from the one you accepted. You put up with it easily enough. I do not think I'm the least inferior to those super apostles. Super apostles. The Greek, he's not actually calling them super apostles. He's being sarcastic. That's why you have the two marks between super apostles. He's calling them super apostles. I'm not inferior to those super apostles that are teaching you a different Jesus, a different gospel. And he says that those super apostles are masquerading as apostles of Christ, and they are servants of Satan. They come to you as angels of light, but they are really Satan in disguise.
Yeah, and this is not
So who are these super
Peter.
apostles?
This is not Peter, James, and
Why does
John,
he
as
call
I
them-
told
so
you.
why does he call them super apostles? What about them as super apostles?
Can you please tell me again? So it is 2 Corinthians 2.
2 Corinthians 11, verse 4, 5,
11.
and so on.
Sorry. Okay, yes. Okay, so can I read it again? Okay, so can I read it again?
Yeah, read it if you want.
Okay, so for if someone comes to you and preaches a Jesus other than the Jesus we preached, so who is we?
Paul.
So Paul is speaking to the third person plural?
Yep, he does that in Galatians all the time.
So when it says we preached,
He's talking about Paul.
so when he says in verse 1, I hope you will put up with me,
Yep.
why doesn't he say to put up with us?
He doesn't need to say us and we all the time. Who told you that? What?
Well, if he starts like this, he will go on like this.
That's just not the case. He does it in Galatians. He says, if we or another angel preach you a gospel
Yeah,
that we have not
exactly.
preached, let
So
that man
it
be
is
accursed.
not saying about him alone.
The context doesn't mention another group.
Well, if he says we,
Yeah, we is just what people
the
say
people
about
the
themselves.
people of the church know who he's talking about.
Yeah, they know that it's Paul talking. Paul is talking about
Yeah,
himself.
they know that it is Paul talking about him and other people who preach the same thing.
Brother, this does. Can we keep going, brother? This point doesn't even help.
Yeah,
Let's say it's Paul and his friends. Sure, keep going.
Okay,
Paul
so
and his buddies.
if someone comes to you and preaches a Jesus other than the Jesus we preached, or if you receive a different spirit from the spirit you received, or a different gospel from the one you accepted, you put up with this easily enough. Yes, we know from ones who go to Islam.
Keep going.
I do not think in the least inferior to those super
Who
apostles.
are those super apostles that he's saying are preaching a different gospel?
Yes, I see now that it is in, I don't know, I think Asterix is the name in English.
The point is the Greek is sarcastic. He doesn't actually think
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
super apostles. He's saying super apostles. So who are these super apostles teaching a different Christ, different gospel, masquerading as apostles of Christ, but they're satanic according to Paul?
Yeah, this would not be Peter, John, and
So
James.
you take it. Why did you say it's Peter, Paul, and James earlier?
I didn't know that here is sarcastic.
Oh, okay. So now because of your bias, you change your answer, right?
No. It's because of the context of the whole Bible.
Well, actually, thankfully, we have the letters of Paul. In Galatians, who does Paul identify as those esteemed as apostles? Those esteemed as apostles.
Well, he's not telling about
who
super apostles.
Who does Galatians tell us? Who does Paul tell us those super apostles are in Galatians?
Well, he says super apostles.
Well, he doesn't use the same words, but he says something.
Okay, so it's not the same word. Thank you.
What? Who says it's the same word? What has nothing to do with my
No,
words.
so he's not
He
using the same
He
word.
doesn't have to use the same words. He's saying the same thing.
Yes, he does.
He's saying the same thing, not using the same words. So here he says super apostles. There he says those so-called or those of repute, those so-called pillars of the church, so-called apostles. And he identifies them there as John, Peter, and James.
Yes, and he says that he gave the same gospel as them.
So who are the super apostles?
Well, does also Paul says that he gave the same gospel as them?
Yeah, and Paul also says to the Jew.
Okay, so
and
it is not talking about them. Thank you.
Oh, well, no, that's not so quick, because Paul says, to the Jew I became a Jew to win them over. To those under the law, I became like one under the law to win those who are under the law. So sure, maybe initially when Paul and the apostles met, maybe there's some kind of cordial agreement. Maybe Paul masqueraded himself to be under the law when he wasn't actually under the law, like he says himself. But definitely as things developed, there was tension between them, and that's the consensus of scholarship.
Well, I don't care about consensus of scholarship.
It's based on the text. He calls them so-called apostles. He says he worked harder than them. He says what they are means nothing to me. And he says, and he's sarcastic when he speaks about them. And here
he calls them the pillars. He calls them the pillars of the church.
He says so-called those of repute. Just
he
like
calls them pillars of the church.
And he calls them super. Does he actually think they're super? Whoever these guys are,
he's not talking about them because they are giving another gospel.
No, but whoever he's talking about here, granted, is he thinking they're actually super?
No, it's sarcastic, of course.
Okay, good. He's using the same sarcastic language in Galatians.
No, he's not. Galatians what?
Galatians chapter 1. Here, or maybe chapter 2. Wait 1 second. Let me pull it up.
No, actually, Galatians 1 is against Muhammad, but let's go on.
No, Galatians 1 is against James, actually. Yeah. Here, let me just pull it up quick. Galatians chapter 2, verse 6. Can you read that for me?
Of course. Oh, sorry, I mean Romania. Just a second. As for those who were held in high esteem, whatever they were makes no difference to me. That does not show favoritism. They added nothing to my message.
Good.
On the contrary, they recognized that I had been entrusted with the task of preaching the gospel to the uncircumcised, just as Peter had been to the circumcised.
Yeah, good. So then here he says that they are of repute, right?
Yeah, in high esteem. It's
so
written
those
here.
who were of repute, right?
Yeah, you can call them, of course, of repute.
Yeah. So those of repute, that's sarcastic language. Those who are held, they're so-called. That's what it means to be of repute. Those who are so-called in high esteem. Those who are so-called.
Well, here there aren't no I don't know how you call them, as it is in Corinthians when under the brackets I think it's written, right?
It's the same sarcastic language. Here they are.
No, it isn't, because it's no brackets.
Yeah, the brackets are added by translators, dude.
Because
the translator decides.
So here the translator didn't add them, so it doesn't mean that is
the translator is a Trinitarian, and here because they're identified.
So now the translator is a Trinitarian, blah blah blah. Okay.
Dude, are you okay in the head? Do you want the Trinitarian?
No, I mean.
Do you expect? Do you expect the Trinitarian to say Peter, James, and John are against Paul? Of course you wouldn't. But luckily, we have non-biased scholarship that does say it's that way.
Do you have $100?
That does say it's that way.
So you go by what? So you go by what the scholars say, not that it actually says in the Bible.
What the scholars of the Greek say, the non-biased Greek scholars say, yes.
So the ones that you like.
No, the ones that are non-biased, that don't.
Yeah, the ones that you like, of course. So it's not the Bible.
We don't need brackets. He says it clearly. He says those of repute. Those of repute.
Yeah, and those of
those of repute.
Sorry, go ahead.
Those of repute is the same thing. Super and those of repute means the same thing. He says what they are means nothing to me. What they are means nothing to me. But even
Can I ask you something?
No, let me finish. Even
Okay.
though they mean nothing to me and they are held in high esteem, I don't care what they are. Even they, in this position, they added nothing to my message and they gave me the right hand of fellowship. That's what Paul is saying.
Okay, so here in Galatians, it says that the ones that are held in high esteem, yes, the Peter, James, and John,
Yeah.
they agreed to his message and they give the same message, right?
Yeah, that's what Paul is saying.
Okay, so it's not the same as in Corinthians who give another message,
And
another gospel. Thank you very much.
Does the same Paul say to those under the law, it became like under the law to win those under the law?
Yeah, this means that he's talking to their language. Because
Nope.
if I go and talk to an
Nope,
atheist,
it doesn't say I talk their language. He says to those under the law, I became like under the law,
yeah,
although
that's what he
myself I
meant.
am not under the law. So
That's what he
to
meant.
those under the law, did he become like he's under the law to them?
Yeah, he spoke to them like he is under the law so he can make them understand.
Was he actually under the law?
No, he wasn't under the
Okay,
law.
good. So then he did the same thing with James, Peter, and
No, it is not the same thing. It is with the ones that didn't believe.
He does that with them initially. They meet. It was very brief because he goes to Jerusalem twice. First time he goes to Jerusalem, he only sees Peter and James, and he stays with them for 15 days. Then he goes. Then he comes to Jerusalem again. Okay, they had very brief interaction with one another. Okay, very brief interaction with one another. And it's clear that as things progressed and as Paul progressed with his gospel, things got a little bit tricky between them. And that's why he starts saying things like, I'm not inferior to them. I worked harder than them. What they are means nothing to me. They are those who are held in high esteem, blah, blah, blah. He says he calls Peter a hypocrite. Does he call Peter a hypocrite?
Yes, he calls them a hypocrite by what he did, yes.
So Peter was a hypocrite?
In that case, yeah.
Well, Peter was a hypocrite. So the one who walked with Jesus didn't understand Jesus, but the random guy who showed up later is the one correcting the one who walked with Jesus. All right.
No,
Sounds
he's
good.
not saying that he didn't. He doesn't say that he didn't understand Jesus. It says that
Well,
he walked into a trap,
Actually, the book
and
of
then
Acts tells us
then
he didn't
Paul
understand Jesus.
and then Paul talking to him, he woke up because of that talk with Paul.
Why did he call him a hypocrite?
Because he was acting as a Jew in front of the Jews, but he was living as a Gentile when the Jews weren't watching.
Okay. And those Jews, were they Christian Jews?
Yeah.
They were Christian Jews. Did they have the correct gospel, those Christian Jews?
They listened to the correct gospel, yeah.
Did they have the correct gospel?
They listened to it, yes.
I didn't say they listened to it. Did they have it?
In that moment, I don't think so. I don't think that it was something written in that moment.
It's not something written. I'm saying, did they believe in the correct gospel?
If they believed, I don't know.
No, Peter was scared of them when they came, right? So
Yeah,
Peter was eating with
Peter
Gentiles.
was scared of them
Right,
of
Peter-
what would they think?
Yeah, Peter was eating with Gentiles. He sees those men coming and he moves away quick. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
Why was he moving away from them quick?
Well, because as also Paul says in some other letters, yeah, there were some Jews who came to the faith, but they were teaching that people need to still keep the law.
Is that the
So
correct?
I don't know.
Is that the correct gospel or false gospel according to Paul?
No, that is the false gospel.
Okay, good. Can you read Galatians chapter 2, verse 12 for me? You just buried yourself.
For before certain men came to James, he used to
Not
eat
to
with
James.
sorry. For before certain men came from James, he used to eat with the Gentiles. But when they arrived, he began to draw back and separate himself from the Gentiles
Who did they
because
come
he
from?
was afraid. Sorry?
He was afraid of who?
Because he was afraid of those who belong to the circumcision group.
Who did they come from? The circumcision group with the false gospel?
From James, but it doesn't say that they have a false gospel.
James had a false gospel?
No, it doesn't say that James have a false.
You just said those men who came had a false gospel.
No, I said that they believed in a false gospel.
Okay, so James believed in a false gospel?
No.
So those men were correct?
Those men who came from James doesn't mean that they believe the same thing as James did.
Oh, so why was he afraid of them?
I don't know, surely. I think, well, the text doesn't say why was he afraid of.
We know why he was afraid, because they were sent by James, and James was the leader of the Jerusalem church. That's why.
Yeah, and the same James, it is told that he gives the same message as Paul and Peter.
Clearly doesn't give the same message, because
Well,
Paul
in
here,
the same chapter, literally, he gives the same.
That's what Paul says initially, and then Paul says that James belonged to the circumcision group, and he says that they had a false gospel, right?
Here it doesn't say that they have a false gospel.
Did these men come with a false gospel?
If these men come with a false gospel, if you're referring, if the word, for example, Essenians, yes.
Okay, and these men came from James, so James had a false gospel.
No, because
right, so they had
James himself, because James himself, yes, at the Jerusalem Council, says that it is not required to keep.
The Jerusalem Council,
yes,
never happened. There's no.
What do you mean?
The Jerusalem Council of Acts 15.
Yes, Acts 15. Acts 15
never took place. You want to know why?
What do you mean?
Because the book of Acts is the author of the Gospel of Luke writing an account of the early church to make Paul look like a good guy.
Okay. So now the Bible isn't good. So you are taking the word of some atheist scholars. Okay.
I didn't say the Bible isn't good. I'm saying the Paul from the books of Paul is different from the Paul from the book of Acts.
No, it is the
running her 50.
From the books of Paul is different from the Paul from the book of Acts.
No, it is the same one.
It's not. Paul,
according to you, of course. According
to Paul, because we know Paul wrote Galatians, Paul wrote Corinthians, Paul wrote these other books. We know,
and you misrepresent him all the time.
I don't misrepresent him. Paul represents himself. The book of Acts tries to.
You misinterpret him all the time.
For example, Paul has a story, the book of Acts, the author of Acts has a story about how Paul comes to Jerusalem, and James comes and tells him, "You see, brother, how many Jews have come to the faith and are zealous for the Torah? But wait, Paul, we're hearing rumors that you're telling the Jews to abandon Moses." Notice how the author of Acts doesn't have Paul answer the accusation. Apparently James tells him, here, go show them that these things are not true, Paul. Go do this ritual, take a Nazarite, pay for this guy's Nazarite vow expenses, and you'll be all good, man. Paul, you notice how in this story, he doesn't even make Paul respond to yes or no, right?
Well, he doesn't need to, because if
to disobey, to abandon Moses. Luckily, we know from Paul's own writings that he does tell people to abandon Moses.
No.
He doesn't? All right.
He
well,
doesn't
let's-
tell people to
well, then-
abandon
All
Moses.
right, Galatians chapter 4. The Torah was our guardian until Christ came. And when Christ
Exactly.
came, we are no longer under our guardian.
Exactly,
So
because
we're- so
Jesus
we're no- so
fulfilled
we're-
the Torah.
Okay, so we're no longer under the Torah according to Paul, right?
We are under the law of Jesus who
I
fulfilled
don't
Torah.
ask you, are we under the Torah according to Paul?
No, we are not on.
Okay,
We
well,
are. We
see-
we
you see-
aren't.
You see how the Paul in Acts is not the Paul of Paul?
Yes, it is the Paul in in Acts. It is the same Paul.
So why in Acts, James comes, people are saying you're telling us to abandon Moses. Here, show them it's not true. And Paul goes and does it. He wants to show them it's not true.
Okay,
But the
why
Paul-
in
the
Acts?
Paul of
Okay,
Paul,
why in Acts?
the
Why
Paul
in
and
Acts
Paul-
James? Why in Acts James says that for the uncircumcised it is not necessary to keep the law of Moses and to be circumcised.
That's fine. That's talking about Gentiles. And
Yeah,
even-
that's
even-
talking
even
about
though-
Gentiles.
even-
Exactly.
That's fine. Even if I tell you that Jerusalem Council never happened, I don't have a problem conceding that that's what James probably believed. That Gentiles didn't have to follow the whole law. They just had to follow the Noahide laws, the 7 Noahide laws. Okay, that's fine. Paul says, is Paul a Jew?
Yeah.
Does he say that he's not under the law?
Yes, he says that he is under the law of Christ.
Does the Jerusalem Council say that Jews have to follow the Torah, but Gentiles have to follow only these laws?
The Jerusalem Councils only refers to what uncircumcised people need to do.
Right.
But
So
Peter refers to this that also Jew and
so in
Gentile have the same entrance.
In the Jerusalem Council, Gentiles don't have to follow the Torah. Only Jews do, right?
Yeah, but in the Old Testament, Gentiles had to follow the Torah.
Stop. Wait, no, they didn't.
Stop when I'm
They did
exposing you. Stop. Sorry.
Show me. Gentiles have to follow the Torah, the Old Testament?
Yeah.
Show me.
Well, Gentiles
You're just
who were
ma- you're
converting
just-
to Judaism.
You're literally making shit up, dude. Can you show me?
Gentiles who were going to
Right.
Judaism.
Gentiles.
What were they becoming?
Gentiles who converted to become
Exactly.
Jews. Gentiles
Exactly.
Gentiles here are not becoming Jews. There's a difference.
Yeah,
between brother.
they are becoming Jews.
Stop acting like you're.
They are becoming
stop
spiritual
acting like you
Jews?
don't understand.
Are they
Okay?
becoming
Stop-
spiritual Jews?
No.
Are they becoming spiritual Jews?
That's a Pauline idea. There's no such thing as a spiritual.
So
Jew.
according to Paul, are they becoming spiritual
according
Jews?
to Paul, but there's no such
Okay,
thing
thank
in
you.
the Torah. Show me spiritual Jew in the Torah.
No, I'm not saying spiritual
Okay,
Jew in
okay,
the
good. So
Torah.
okay, good. So then you're using Paul to defend Paul. That's circular. I don't care what Paul says about spiritual Jews.
What do you mean? You are quoting the Bible, bro.
What do you mean quoting the Bible? What are you talking about, bro? You think that I'm taking?
It is Acts in the Bible.
So you think because Acts in the Bible that means I have to accept it? What are you talking about?
No.
So,
You are doing an internal
you're
critique. Yes?
panicking right now. So let me
No,
finish.
you are doing an internal critique, right?
I'm not doing an internal critique. Stop panicking.
Then what the hell are you doing?
Stop panicking. Okay, I'm
No,
using
not
these.
panicking.
I'm using these texts as historical data. Okay.
Yeah,
Not- let me finish, brother. Let me finish, please. Does Paul, in the Jerusalem Council, do they all agree that apparently took place that Jews have to follow the Torah?
it is not spoken there.
It's not spoken that Gentiles don't have to convert. They don't have to be circumcised.
Gentiles, yes, but not Jews. You were asking about Jews.
Oh my God! Why are they having this? Why are they having this council to begin with?
Because there were Jews.
If nobody had to be circumcised, why are they having a council about why Gentiles shouldn't be circumcised?
Because there were Jews who were misrepresenting what Jesus was saying.
Oh my God! If nobody had to be circumcised, then why are they having a council about why Gentiles specifically don't have to be circumcised?
Can I answer, or do you need to?
Yes,
act like this?
please answer.
Because there were Jews who came to the faith and said that Gentiles who come also to the faith need to follow the law of Moses and be circumcised.
So did they get together and say, guys, this is not true. Nobody has to be circumcised? Or did they talk about Gentiles specifically not having to be circumcised?
They were talking about Gentiles.
Gentiles. So that tells us that Gentiles are the exception to the rest. Correct?
That Gentiles don't need to be circumcised.
Right.
It's not that it's an exception.
So if Gentiles don't need to be circumcised, that means the rest who are not Gentiles have to be still circumcised, right?
They don't have to.
They don't have, bro. So why are they saying only Gentiles don't have to be circumcised?
Because this was the topic.
Get the hell out of here, dude. Get the hell out of here. You're brain dead. You baked yourself and you know it. Get the heck out of here, man, before you bring up my blood levels.